Hey guys, my name is Punch, in the pooper, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. Man, 3 days. Well, I guess today will be the third day, but around 3 days, no Higurashi. I'm sorry. Just been crazy busy doing with other stuff. Um, and especially because July 4th is coming up, and I'm not gonna be home. I'm gonna be in Wisconsin. I'm gonna try and do if I can, maybe 2 videos today. I don't know about if I get today because, 9 o'clock, lights are off, full screen, everything's ready. Double checked to make sure that my audio is recording right now. But yeah, I don't know if I can get to 2 videos today, but hopefully, tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Hopefully Wednesday and Thursday I can get 2 videos up because Friday I should be heading off to Wisconsin, so I won't be able to make anything. But I hope you guys are gonna have guys are planning. If you guys even do anything for 4th of July, you might not even do anything. Hopefully you guys have a fun and safe 4th of July. I'm getting ahead of myself, but anyway, back to Higurashi. So last time, luckily we kind of paused in the middle of this, but Punchy just got clipped by a car, and if it wasn't for his ultra fast reflexes, he wouldn't be talking to us right now, or he wouldn't be thinking anything. Or I guess we're his inside voice, so we wouldn't be talking anymore. But alright, I think we just start from this sentence that's up there. I slogged through the muddy paddy and made my way back onto the road. That's right, we were also going to school by ourselves a little earlier, because Punchy knows what he's in right now, so we're gonna see what happens. This is a crime, god damn it! Shit, I'll track you down and sue you. If I go looking for a van, I'm sure to find it in this little village. The path I was on had rice paddies on either side, and it had become so narrow that one car could barely fit through. It wasn't a place you could tear full speed down in a car, let alone pass by pedestrians. Not only was it a narrow road, but the car just now was closer to my side of the road than the other when it went past me. Even as I cursed, I was definitely trying to suppress the dark cloud boiling up within me. This wasn't just a hit and run. That car just now was trying to run me over, wasn't it? I'm getting goosebumps, but I'm getting back into the inside of Punchy. We're gonna fight this. So creepiness is gonna happen, but we're headstrong right now. Thinking back, I did feel like there had been a car creeping up on me slowly for a while. That's right. As soon as I'd parted ways with that person taking a walk, I had that feeling the whole time. If it had wanted to pass me, then it had no shortage of chances. Normally, I would have felt suspicious and turned around sooner. But I was lost in thought and was now kicking myself for not realizing it was there sooner. We're going through a lot, Punchy, I know, and this is gonna happen, but from looks of it now, the whole village is kinda, singling us out. So we're gonna have to keep on our toes at essentially all times. I'm just really worried about Mom and Dad. But I guess the way the village is probably thinking, if they can get rid of me without Mom and Dad knowing, then to them it's just a disappearance. They don't know what's happening, so they don't have to get rid of them. So hopefully Mom and Dad are okay. And then, when the path became narrow and there was no one else in sight, he floored it. If I had hesitated for even a moment, the result would have been no laughing matter. As the adrenaline rush from my nearly being run over subsided, and the realization of just how terrifying the preceding events were sunk in, there was no doubt about it. That van was intentionally trying to hit me. A cold, vicious sweat seeped down from my scalp and slid down my back before dribbling off. I struggled to avoid falling into a panic. There was still the possibility that this was really just an accident. No. Calm down, Punchy. But also don't be so naive, Punchy. Being that lax will get you killed next time. You need to always be on your toes. Don't give them any openings. If my enemy was really out to kill me, then next time they would use a more reliable method. That's right, Punchy. We're going into, like I said before, they kind of train us in this for their games and stuff. We need to get into that mode. If that time came, I was acting like I was now. I was being covered in mud. Being covered in mud was the price I had to pay for my own naivety. Covered in mud, but without injury, always a good thing. Not even a sprain. I guess this is what you would call the silver lining. I began walking again, this time cautiously. I wouldn't even show a hint of carelessness. I suspected only Ren and the others up until now. No, it's because I suspected them that I had believed there was no other enemies. Oishi-san said so, didn't he? There was a possibility that all the families of the village were involved. Was I really immersed so deeply into the situation that I had no choice but to try and carry on as usual? Wouldn't it be safer just to hole myself up in my house? But the moment I abandoned my regular routine, everyone around me would abandon theirs as well. That was just too horrifying of a thought. I recalled the tales of... Okay, I know we're going to black thinking mode, Punchy. You better be wary right now. I recall the tales Oishi-san told me of when Hinamazawa was still called Onigafuchi. A frightening tale of an entire village of demons hunting their prey, surrounding them and eating them alive. One must not interfere with the demons. One must pretend not to see it. The enemy were numerous, all the village's families. The villagers with their unwavering faith in their curse would do nothing to help me. The strong, sudden flash of sunshine made me slightly dizzy. I had no idea what was going on anymore. When I suspected it was the work of a man, I would catch a glimpse of Osama's curse. When I suspected it was Osama's curse, someone would poke their head out. What was coincidence? What was intentional? Who was my enemy? Who was just a bystander? No, what I really truly wanted to know was, how did I end up with the proverbial bullseye painted on my back? Eventually, an answer in a form I could understand will appear. I don't care when that will happen, because until then, I cannot die. That alone fuels my resolve to fight and will keep me alive. Well, yeah, that's right, Punchy. We'll stay alive all the way until Oishi-san can break this case wide open so we can be safe, our families. Well, my family. Actually, Oishi-san's family probably is. I know he's got an older mother too. I remembered seeing the metal bed in the gym storage shed, but there's a padlock on the door barring my entry. At the very least, I want to get my hands on it before everyone else arrived at school. I circled around the school grounds impatiently, but all I could find were things like pieces of lumber. Nothing that I could bring into the classroom easily. Then, I had an epiphany. I should search inside the classroom. If it was something inside the classroom to begin with, then there wouldn't be a problem. A better plan. I could tell that everyone's indoor shoes were still in their lockers. Good thing it came early. Nobody else was here yet. I wondered, what could I find in the classroom? I didn't think I could find an especially effective weapon like a bat. But it couldn't be helped at this point. Until the gym storage shed was open, I need to find a substitute. A lingering hint of naivety whispered that there was no way I'd be attacked at school. We know that's not true. Remember the teacher's face when she was saying that reporters were around? But such ideas would no longer protect me. To think that they were slowly making their way into parts of my life that I had once thought impenetrable. In the worst case, my own house might not become safe anymore. That was an incredibly frightening thought. But I believe that not considering the worst case scenario would have been even more frightening. Anyways, I will survive. So long as I lived, then I would definitely be able to escape this labyrinth of nonsense. Definitely. My exploration in the classroom came into an impasse. But that much was to be expected. There was no way there would be anything that could be a weapon in the classroom. In case of emergency, there was probably nothing I could do but swing my own chair around. My gaze landed on the lockers that had come to be used for personal storage. The locker that Mian used to store her pile of games was among them. There's one for each person in the class, all lined up. Of course, there's one for me as well. Oh yeah, there was supposed to still be a tracksuit in my locker. Seeing me covered in mud would be strange. I should go change later. But first, I needed a weapon. If one of my classmates came, it would be hard to rummage through all the lockers. I swiftly began opening the lockers one by one. They were mostly just filled with things like gym clothes, personal items, and umbrellas. An umbrella. If I couldn't find anything better, then this would have to be my weapon. I was about to give up on finding anything decent when I opened a locker that had held exactly what I wanted. It was without a doubt a metal bat. It was well worn and pretty beaten up, but there was no doubt it was usable. In that locker that reeked of mold, there also hung a baseball uniform. It was probably the locker of a student in a Pee Wee league or something like that. If that was the case, then he'd probably ask for it back. At that time, I could hear the voice of children scuffling their way noisily from the hallway. Amongst them, I could make out Rika-chan and Satoko. Better put that shit back. Whoop, everything's done. Good morning. My, you're quite early this morning, Punchy-san. I naturally hid the bat I was holding behind my back. But what is with your outfit? You're covered in mud. Yeah, I had a little incident. Rika-chan, trust that face of yours right now. I'm going to change now, so cut me some slack. With that said, I began taking off my clothes. Satoko began to blush, just as I expected her to. Changing in front of a lady? Have you no tact at all? I would think that a lady staring at someone who was changing would be the one lacking in tact. There's no changing room for the boys, so just deal with it. I think this is pretty good of Punchy. He's acting just like normal, teasing Satoko and everything. As Satoko feigned disgust, she went into the hall, still blushing. Conversely, Rika-chan continued staring at me, preparing to change. If Rika-chan's lady as well, then I don't think it would be appropriate for you to be watching. I'm not a lady, so it's fine. She deliberately pouted and looked at me with upturned eyes. And starting now, you're a lady. If I'm a lady, then I suppose I must. Rika-chan, appearing to be satisfied with being considered a lady, made her way to join Satoko in the hallway. Just as I breathed a sigh of relief, Rika-chan stopped suddenly and turned back towards me. Are you going to start playing baseball? It seemed that Rika-chan had noticed the bat. Yeah, just, you know. I was feeling a bit out of shape, so I thought I'd try practicing my swing. I think it's wonderful you're taking care of your health. She was talking like an old lady, despite her appearance. After saying that, Rika-chan started to leave again, but stopped and looked back at me once more. Please don't lose that bat. It seems she already knew I took it out of someone's locker. There was no name on the locker. I didn't know whose bat it was, but I would be borrowing it until they complained. It wouldn't be for long, just until the gem storage shed was opened. After quickly changing into the tracksuit, I checked the time. I still had plenty of time before class begun, because I came so early. I took the bat in one hand, went out to the schoolyard. That was, of course, to practice my swing. I need to make it known I would always have a bat on me, so I could practice my swing. At some point, the sunlight had become even stronger. Disregarding my classmates as they made their way to school, I took my position in the shadow of the school building. I wasn't the academic type, and I wasn't much of an athlete either. I might get muscle pain if I just suddenly start swinging. I should at least start with some warm-ups. I doubt anyone would think I was doing something out of the ordinary, which was the exact opposite of my actual mental state. I gripped the bat and swung lightly. The bat was by no means light. The weight would make it a reliable weapon when it needed to be. Of course, I could only pray that the moment I need to use this as a weapon would never come. Just carrying around could deter attacks against me. At least, that's what I hoped. Yeah. Yeah. Huh? Punchy-chan? What are you doing? Being bombarded with such a hysterical voice, I jumped. Whoa, Punchy-kun, are you on the baseball team? The baseball team? It was Rena and Mian. I was surprised to hear you went off ahead. What are you doing, Punchy-chan? Can't you tell by looking? I'm practicing my swing for the championship. You could say it's part of my diet if you want. Diet? Punchy-chan, are you really that fat? Bet you didn't know. I actually have a beer belly. It's plump and it jiggles. Plump and jiggles? Rena, you don't have to imagine something weird like that. To disrupt Brenda from imagining something that vulgar, I ruffled her hair messily. Well then, hope you make it to regionals at least. This old man would cheer you on. Regionally speaking, it seems that Oshima High is pretty strong. They say their southpaw, Kameda-kun, is amazing. Good luck. Seems they made me out of some kind of local prodigy, but oh well. Well, if I really did make it to the championship, it would be a cinch. After all, I'd be the pitcher and catcher. I pitched the ball, then went past the ball I just threw, and changed over to being the catcher in a burst of super incredible explosive speed. I laughed dryly at the ludicrous image. Coming back to my senses, I smashed the bat against the ground. Damn it! Why am I laughing at that? Calm down, Punchy. I pawed on the ground over and over. With each impact, the reverberation traveling through the bat stung my hands. If they make me swing like that, I'll Poor Punchy. It's really tough on him right now. Essentially, he has to play the friend, even though he knows they're not his friend, and it hurts him so. Poor guy. Don't allow anyone close to me. Don't trust anyone. No matter how many times I tell myself that. If they made me smile like that, I knew quite well that there were demons dwelling in my smiling friends. But I just couldn't believe it. Did that kind of split personality really exist? Like how Rennie confessed to the doctor. Were they simply being possessed by Osama? In other words, did a supernatural being like Osama really exist, and was it possessing everyone to try and kill me? Yeah, that would be wonderful. If only everyone were actually my friends all along and everything was just Osama's fault. You damn fool, Punchy Bar. Come on now! I yelled out, drawing all the power from the pit of my stomach and rushed my bed violently into the air. Stop being so soft! I screamed out with all my might. I beat the metal bat into the ground over and over. With every impact, my weakness was being beaten down. Yeah! Smash! Forget! Smash! Don't be soft! Smash! Know your enemy! Smash! Like hell I let them kill me. Okay, I hope he's not yelling this stuff out. My shoulders heaving up and down from my ragged breathing. I heard the first bell ring just as I calmed down. It's all like this that makes me feel like I should like take up MMA or something like that. So like, if something like this happens, you know, I actually had to like maybe possibly start sprinting in the mornings or doing basketball because I found out yesterday that my pant size increased one. Oh, Jesus Christ, that makes me really sad. Anyway, sorry, off topic. I gasped with a sudden realization. That was the final bell. As I felt all the tension drain out from me, I let out a deep breath. My mind was muddled state for much of the entire day. I didn't feel like I was awake, but it didn't feel like I was asleep either. I couldn't say it felt especially comfortable, but I felt kind of relieved that the sanctity of school part of my daily life had yet to be violated. How long would I have to keep on living like this? I could only grit my teeth and bear with it as this living hell slowly gnawed away from me. I assume the more I see Oishi-san, the more they're going to, like, amp up their attacks and stuff. Punchy-kun, come on! It's club time, club time! Oh, a whole day, jeez. The sound of Rena's voice brought me back to my senses. Come on, Punchy-chan! Stop spacing out! Bring your desk, Everyone was moving the desks together as usual. That's right, it was happy fun club time. But I had no intention of taking part. I haphazardly stuffed my contents of my desk into my bag as I prepared to go home. It was a weak-handed gesture to avoid to actually say, I'll be going home now. What's this, Punchy-chan? You're planning to go home right away again? Me and sounded quite disappointed. I'd seen that face before. I'm just on the mood. Could you let me be for a while? The tone of the words that spilled from her mouth matched me in disapproving glare. It felt like the air in the room had dried out. Stoka looked like she was about to say something, but perhaps dissuaded by the mood, she swallowed her words and stayed silent. Nobody said a thing. I took that to mean I could leave if I wanted. But the collective gaze of the four of them, like the tiny pins used to mount an insect in display, held me in place. Rena was the one who cut through the heavy mood. Punchy-kun, you just didn't like playing with girls, I guess. She said in such a melancholic tone, it sent a wave of pain racing through my heart. If this pain was going to kill me... Sorry, Tony, can't play Dota. Middle of something. I wanted it to be a soft part of me that could still feel the pain. I tore at my chest, violently tearing out the pins that held me in place. That's not it at all. I'd only be hurting myself if I said by saying anything more, so I swallowed my words. Cutting things off like that, I turned away and exited the classroom. They didn't speak a word to me as I left. Okay. And we're headed home. I have a feeling I should cut here, but... what time is it? 9:20ish. We'll keep going. It was a long, dull trip back home, but I didn't lose focus. I firmly squeezed the grip of the bag, which was already soggy from sweat. Realizing that, I wiped it down with my sleeve. If something were to happen, I wouldn't want it to be slippery. Since this morning, I just thought about this. Yeah, you know, Someone is built as Tomitake-san had like wood to try. I guess that he assumed was what everyone is assuming, and what I assumed happened. He was using to like swing at his enemies or the people who were attacking him, but he didn't hit them. I didn't realize, but apparently, at least we have something, I guess, right? Since this morning, I'd become especially sensitive to the presence of cars. Even while walking, my ears pricked up and sought out threatening sounds and presences that could be closing in, and that was why I could hear it. Without a doubt, there were footsteps. Those footsteps had matched up perfectly with mine for a while now. Oh, I got goosebumps, but I'm ready for this. From what I could sense, it was just one person, but I had no intention of being careless. Did they intend to follow me like that car this morning until we were in good location to assault me? Then it wasn't a good idea to keep walking like this. I stopped walking and looked back. The wooded path crowded the trees responded with silence as if there was nobody there to begin with. But I wouldn't be fooled. I was certain footsteps were following me. And just as I stopped, the footsteps stopped as well. Meaning the person who followed me wanted to keep their distance. That was without a question proof that I was their target. I held my breath waiting for that presence to panic and start moving again. The trees rustled with the sound of the wind. Higurashi also joined in the dissonant chorus, trying to throw my focus into disarray. Had 5 minutes passed? Or had it been like this for a whole 30 minutes? It was so hard to breathe that I imagined that I might have suffocated. It seemed I would be the first one to panic. Without a doubt, he was lurking in the shade of that tree, with bated breath. Then, I'd make the first move. I fixed my grip on the bat. I raised up to my shoulder to be ready to swing at any time. Hey! I know you're there! With all my might, I screamed at whoever was hiding in the shade of the trees. But the presence in the shade didn't budge. Until the moment I found them, they had no intention of revealing themselves. I know already. I know you're there. I screamed out angrily at them again, but even still, they didn't move at all. Then I'll go over there myself. Got my bat ready? Let's do this. With all due diligence, I slowly approached step by step. Stepping into the tree's shadow, I saw a human figure there. The figure was curled up like a small animal. Rena! When she realized I'd found her, her expression softened. She seemed apologetic, but wasn't going to speak a word. Did you have some business with me? I wouldn't accept that silence and screamed the question at her. Not really, it's just, Rena was in a panic with tears welling up in her eyes. But it was obvious that she had been following me. What about the club? Since you're not, I'm not, that shouldn't matter. Don't mind me and just play. But, I'm just worried about you. Thinking about how I'd been acting up until now, it wasn't hard to imagine that my behavior could have been perceived as strange. Serena was concerned. At a quick glance, that's how it would seem. But I wasn't going to let my guard down that easily. Even if that really was the case, she still wouldn't have to do something like try to tail me. She should have called out to me when I was leaving and got out right with me. But Rena didn't do that. She kept her distance from me and matched my walking speed. Top of that, she matched the sound of my footsteps and deviously tried to hide her presence from me. Then, after she realized I noticed she was there, she held her breath as she tried hiding from me. She wore a timid expression that would force one to take pity on her, but without a doubt, she was tailing me. Stop following me. How? Still glaring at Rena, I continued walking onwards. After I walked for a bit, she ignored my command and began walking, so I yelled at her once more. I told you not to follow me! But my house is the same direction. Walk ahead of me. I'll start walking once I can't see you anymore. I moved out of the way and waved my bat violently to urge her forward. I'd like to go home together with you. Making a pitiful expression, she meekly squeaked out the words in a voice that she knew would cut into my heart. That agitated me to no end. I knew it was a lie. If you want to go home together, then you should have called out to me. Now you're just blurting out random lies? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It seemed that seething anger within me was written all over my face. Even without me saying anything, Ren had understood what I was feeling inside. If you get it, then go. I swung the bat, urging her again to walk. We looked back and forth between me and the bat, and started walking hesitantly, then stopped again. Go on then, hurry. I'm going, so please stop it. Stop with the bat. It's scary. Rena guarded herself while pointing at me, holding the bat. She may have realized that I wasn't planning on using the bat for baseball. I lowered the bat, but still guarded openly the way for her. Go. There's no problem now, is there? There was nothing else she could protest. She passed by me timidly, so as not to set me off. As I watched her pass by, she stopped completely after having barely moved at all. Hey, don't stop! The puff of gust blew past us, barraging my face with dust. The dust got into my eyes and clouded my vision. While rubbing my eyes with my left hand, I swung blindly with the bat in my right, protecting my small opening I had presented. But Ren didn't even try to attack during that opening. Attack me? No, she hadn't budged an inch. I could tell from the sound of her fluttering skirt in the wind. As the skirt settled, so did the silence. At the moment, the voice inside me immediately warned me of the impending danger. I was caught by surprise. The smell of the air had changed? Without me realizing it, the air around me suddenly felt like a calamity was about to befall me. It was like the air around me suddenly had become invisible concrete, like Ren and I were locked into space. Ren didn't move an inch. Also, unable to move, I stared at her back. I'm ready for this. Ren was the first to break the silence. Instantly, she altered her stance. I felt like I just witnessed her shift from Rena into that other person who looked like Rena. But the voice was one I knew well, which shone with a kind of bewildering pity. Carelessly, I felt relief upon hearing that pitiful voice. Well, excuse me, but, can I ask you something? She tried to even turn around. Rena squeezed her voice out desperately, as she trembled. What? Well, why do you have a bat, I wonder? Hell no, fuck you, Rena. The question Rena asked was by no means unexpected. I can carry whatever I want. But, you didn't have one up until today. Well, why so suddenly? It's alright if I decide to do something suddenly, isn't it? Is it strange that I have a bat? Because, Punchy, you're not the kind of person to play baseball. It's weird. I couldn't tell what kind of answer she was looking for, and I was getting tired of answering her. I just suddenly got the urge to play baseball. Is that so weird? It's weird. She answered instantly, and that annoyed me slightly. I just suddenly want to play baseball, and I want to practice my swing, so I'll carry around a bat. What's so strange about that? Strange. Weird. Definitely. Why is Punchy Kun also? Your ramblings are annoying me. Is it that strange for me to have interest in sports? I tried to be a bit more threatening at the end of the conversation. Until my suspicions about Rena were cleared, I had no obligation to answer her questions. I'm sorry. Don't get so angry. Rena still didn't turn around to me. She spat out the words of apology one after the next. Just one last thing. Tell me one last thing. I don't feel like talking anymore. Hurry up and go. I yelled loudly at her, causing her to flinch like she had been struck. Seeing her in such a pathetic state caused my heart to ache sorely. But even though she was afraid, she suddenly kept herself from moving. Before I was able to threaten her again, Ren asked our final question. Why is that bat the same too? What did she mean by the bat was the same? I had no idea. I had an inkling that it was, what's the other guy's name? Satoshi? Isn't Satoshi the name of Ash Ketchum in the, in the Japanese version? I know whose bat this is. What are you saying? I mean, why is even the bat the same? I don't understand what you mean at all. Say it clearly. Even still, Rena didn't turn around. After inhaling deeply, she screamed. I mean, why is even the bat? Yes, it is Satoshi. It's the same as Satoshi-kun's. Satoshi being... Huh? Upon hearing that name out of the blue, I became dumbfounded for a brief moment. By Satoshi, did she mean the student who transferred out last year? No, that couldn't be. Ren had tried... It's like... seeing how scared she is, it kind of makes you think that, like, if Satoshi did disappear and die, it's almost like his spirit or whatever, he's doing something, and he's like, I'm essentially him, but, you know, he apparently failed. Maybe he probably found out, and he was probably acting like me, but it seemed like obviously he failed, because he's gone. Maybe he's like, you know, he's trying to help me out. She covered it up by saying he transferred, but Oishi-san told me that he was clearly missing. He was the student who sat at my seat up until last year. He was the one to have been deemed away by Osama's curse. Oh, excuse me. I didn't know the details about his disappearance. The aunt he lived with was killed the night of the Watanagashi by a drug addict, and not long after that he suddenly vanished and was now missing. That Satoshi and I were... What? My gaze fell into the bat into my hands. Could it be? Satoshi Hoju. It was a bit difficult to see, but that was written on the white tape at the end of the bat. I see. So this was Satoshi's bat. Oh. This was Satoshi's bat. Since nobody was using it, I borrowed it. That's not a problem, is it? That's not it? The way Rena said it made it seem like this bat was something that should never be touched, like it was some sort of offering at a shrine, or a memento of the deceased. I could only stand there perplexed and unable to respond. Rena continued speaking without waiting for a reply. Why is it that you're doing the exact same thing Satoshi-kun did when it happened to him? Rena was talking about more than just the bat belonging to Satoshi. It was the same with Satoshi-kun. He joined the baseball team, but he didn't really like baseball. What does that have to do with me? Satoshi-kun also suddenly started walking around with a bat one day. He joined the team, but he wasn't the type to play sports. What about it? I closed my mouth before I could say that out loud. Listen carefully, Punchy. Rena's trying to tell us something important. Satoshi-kun also one day came to school all by himself all of a sudden, just like Punchy-kun. Then one day he started practicing his swing, just like Punchy-kun. Then one day he suddenly began carrying a bat around with him, just like Punchy-kun. And one day he suddenly... And one day he suddenly what? Rena swallowed her words. Rena sometimes brought a hush back to the surrounding area. It was then I could finally digest the content of the entire conversation. She was saying my chain of actions was exactly the same as Satoshi's. Ugh, creepy. Let's just... I really feel like Satoshi's trying to help us here. Like, Satoshi's bad and everything. I really think he's trying to help us here. What was the meaning of this? Up until just now, I've forgotten all about Satoshi. I never paid much thought to him in the first place. Not only that, I didn't even know anything of what he'd done. My actions today should have been my own creation, after all the planning I had done. But they had been the exact same as Satoshi's? Then Satoshi, no. More importantly, if both Satoshi and I acted the same, then there was a really good possibility that what happened after would be the same. Rena, that day, what happened to Satoshi? Rena knew. She knew what became of Satoshi. No, forget about what happened to the guy in the past. Rena knew what was going to happen to me. Answer me, Rena! Satoshi, what happened to him? With that, I grabbed Rena's shoulders violently and forcibly turned around her face me. Yeah, here we go. As I faced her, I felt a jolt travel through my entire body. Yeah, I know it's you. I told you, Punchy-kun. It was that person that I didn't know. At least it definitely wasn't Rena Ryugu I'd been talking to up until now. I knew it was you. The voice just now didn't have a trace of trembling or emotion that it had had before. That amount of regret I felt for turning around so carelessly was unsurpassed. That gaze that pierced through me like a cold needle, but I'm going to fight it. The smile on her face involved the image of having been carved out by a knife. Chills went down my spine. My mind froze under the layer of rhyme. Both Rena's eyes pierced through mine, leaving me unable to look away. Stare her down, Punchy. You can do this. You've got to be strong, man. As if to remind me of the fear that time before, Rena brought her face close to mine, so close I could feel her breath. Her face filled my entire vision, and her stanky breath also fills my entire nose. Girl needs mints, just saying. Then her sharply shaped lips grew to even sharper. Like a curved crescent moon, she grinned. Oh. Okay. I told you, Punchy-kun. After a short pause, Ren repeated the same words again. So Satoshi-kun, you see, transferred out. Transferred meaning what? What Rena meant must have been some new definition of transfer that I'd previously not been aware of. My throat and lips dried up. I couldn't even acknowledge what I just heard. All I could do was swallow down my own saliva. It would seem that Rena saw that as a nod. She pulled out her gaze back and spryly stepped back 2 or 3 paces. As she did, my legs gave out and I fell to my knees pathetically. Rena and me on my knees underneath her motionless smile. That to be a very odd sight indeed. Seeing me in a pathetic state, she neither scoffed at me nor held out her hand. But I could neither stand up nor escape her gaze shooting through my eyes. There was undoubtedly a metal bat in my hand, but right now it was useless to me. I was like a fly caught in her web. Heavy sweat beaded all over my body. I told you, Punchy. Same as Satoshi. I mean, not Satoshi. Tomotake's-san was much stronger than you, and he went out. Sorry about that weird sound from my mouth. A heavy sweat beaded all over my body. I could feel it dripping from my skin. But you won't, will you, Punchy-kun? Rena finally released me from the cage of time after what felt like an eternity. But her question was missing something important, and was incredibly vague. Once again I swallowed hard, urging her on. Do what? What did she not want me to do? transfer. I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down right now. So now we gotta play detective. Now we gotta find out what happened to Satoshi. If we can find out what happened to Satoshi, we can stop what happened. Alright, guys. That's it for today. We just had our encounter with Rena. We know things are gonna blow up, but Punchy's... I actually thought things were gonna blow up sooner, but as we can see, Punchy is still clearly trying to figure things out, and he's getting, like... It seems to me this is an actual, like, physical talking last warning from whatever shit's is going down with Rena. So, this is essentially it, Punchy, for real. She doesn't. She's telling us straight up that, I mean, she said you won't transfer, but it seems to me, like, according to everything Punchy has been saying, how we're not gonna be killed, that he has the right idea that they're already looking to transfer us out, if you know what I mean. It's just weird though, cause the night of the Watanagashi already happened, and the girls disappeared. So if it goes by previous things, then one person should die, one person should disappear. So I don't know if they're trying to kill me now. If that doesn't really seem, I don't know. It's a little confusing, but we're back. Punchy understandably is still a little weak to the demons and stuff, but he'll get it. I hope, at least, for our sakes. Anyway, yeah, so once again, sorry guys for not having a video out for 2 days, possibly 3 days if I can't get this out tonight. I tried to make this nearly 40 minutes-ish, because I won't be able to make another one today. If I can tomorrow, I'm gonna try, but the problem is, like, I can't get fully into it until it's dark, which is really until... It's still late, around like 8:30, 8:40-ish, so I usually have to wait a bit. But, so... That's episode, whatever, 24, I think. Man, 24 episodes. Possibly. Might be 23. Can't believe it. Thanks, you guys, for watching. Hope you guys' last weekend has been good. And I just hope generally y'all are okay out there. And so, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and share to your mother, brother, sister's brother, whatever. And have a good one. Bye-bye. Ow.